Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this episode of G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. I'm sitting down here in the Garden of Eden because I've been out here all day doing my thing. And my thing is getting things to grow. These two broccoli flowers are going in the house with me tonight, and those are going to be my one of my side dish. I have carrots inside that I'll steam up with them. So it'll be steamed carrots and broccoli. You like the way I pronounce things, huh? Anyway, so what did I do today? Well, I did a lot. First of all, I got the rest of the garden filled in. I trimmed and pruned back all of my old pepper plants. I noticed that some of them on the insides of the stems were green, so they're probably going to start coming to pretty soon. It's a little early for pepper plants outside. Usually end of March for pepper plants and tomato plants outside. First part of April's good. But anyway, I got my carrots in here, and I've got like 4 rows that run this whole length up to, or I would say about up to here, because I got more of the fava beans planted in this area. So those will be my my little carrot area and fava beans. The carrots, as I pick those out of there, I'll mix in some fresh soil. I'll just turn it in, and then I'll replant something else in here that'll be a late summer crop. Now, over there, I got 1 row of jalapeno seeds in. It's just a hair early for jalapeno seeds, but I have a feeling that since March is usually the planting time, and we're having spring-like weather here for the past week, and it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. Well, it is going to cool down this week, but not that much. It's going to still be in the mid to upper 60s. So I did get a couple of more seeds in the ground there, and they'll take a while to germinate. And then here, I did 3 rows of peas. Those are sweet peas, cascadias. And I just ran them. I ran 1 row close to the in between the pepper plant and the wall here. Then I ran the other one on the other side of that, and then I ran another one just about where that I stuck in that pear tree branch there to see if it would take. If it doesn't take, I just pull it out and I don't worry about it. But I've got 3 rows here, and I marked it here, peas, with 3 rows. And then the jalapeno, of course, over there, I put those in on that side. And here, I have to wait till the wood dries to mark it. I put a reminder stake in there that says beets. So I did 1 short row of beets here and 1 long row that comes all the way up to right about where the grapevine is. And then over there, I did cantaloupe. And I did 1, 2, 3 cantaloupe. 2 seeds per hole. And it'll take a while for those to germinate. But once they do, those will cause ground cover here and help hold moisture into the garden, because the leaves and the vines spread out all over the place. So in here, I did lettuce. So it says lettuce there on the board. 1, 2, 3 rows. The 3rd row starts right where the beets end and goes halfway across this Kiefer pear tree. I got a couple of grafts on this Kiefer pear tree that took. This is a Bosc pear, a graft right here, and I think this one is too. So we'll see how well those do this year. This is still a young tree, and it was a little too young to be grafting on, but I just figured I'd give it a experimental try anyway, and I got some to take, so good deal on there. All right, so I pruned off some of the dead wood off of this peach tree, and look what's growing out of here. Yeah, I did a graft on here today, And that's a branch from that new cherry tree that I have inside of my living room. So these leaves, normally we'd prune all of those off when you do a graft, because you don't want them to be sucking up too much of the energy. But I'm going to do an experimental on this one and see how it works doing that. And because it was very healthy and strong, I'm hoping that the sap is flowing in this pear tree now and went into the main trunk right there. So maybe the two will meet each other and start healing almost immediately, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so I thinned out some of my rutabagas that I got from Brush Bum. He sent me some seeds on that, and I still have a bunch of seeds left because I didn't want to plant all the seeds that he sent me. So I just did a couple of rows here, and then when I thinned out the plants that I had to thin out, I just stuck my finger in the ground, the depth of my finger, carefully dropped the root down in there and knocked the soil in around them, and then watered them real well, just as an experiment, see what happens right there. Over here I've got some onions coming up there and there and there, and cilantro coming up here, and cilantro coming up here. So I did water every one of those anyway, just in case. And my mushrooms here, they're all opened up all the bonnets now, so that's okay, because I take those out and throw them in with my compost pile, and that's good compost. So over here, I took an Anna apple sprout off of the apple tree, the multi-apple tree in the greenhouse, and I grafted that onto the top of this piece of the rootstock. And we'll see how that turns out. That's going to be interesting. So I put it on there, and I will probably be clipping these lower branches off of here, so it sends all of the energy to these over here. I want this to turn into an apple tree branch coming off of here with Anna apples on it. Because over here I got my Fuji's, and that came from Andy's tree, and that's got buds on it. And then this was the Sharon apple, or the Gala apple, and that's got a bud on it. So actually a couple of buds. So there, we'll see how this one goes this year. It's going to look good. My cabbage down here is looking good, nice and green. Don't you love green in the garden? It looks great, doesn't it? Now look over here. I gave this a good soaking today. Look at all of my cilantro that's all of a sudden popping up all over the place here. So yeah, I'm going to have myself some cilantro. No delantro, just cilantro. All right. So I'm not sure about this tree. It feels like it's still got health in it. We'll see how this one goes. But I have that one started over there in a pot. And I can always pull this one and drop that one in here and move on from there. And then as that gets a little bit older, I'll graft on it. This was too young for grafting, so these grafts didn't take. Even though they feel solid, they're dead. But I could snap them right off if I bent them hard. But yeah, they're taken in. They've grown into the main stalk, but I think the whole tree is dead. All right, so coming in here, I took a couple of pieces of the that rootstock from that Bosque pear tree, and I grafted one into the bottom of this apple tree, multi-apple tree, and over here where I had taken that branch off with the double buds on it like this that I grafted on that Bosque pear tree, I grafted another one of the pieces of the rootstock branch in there. And even if it doesn't produce anything, then I'll cut it off later on as it gets a little stronger, and I'll graft into that as another graft point. And over here I did the same thing. I grafted another piece of that right here down low in the rootstock, so that it'll grow healthy and hopefully. And if I see it start to dry out, I just prune it back as need be. But there's some buds already popping out on this. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, this has got life going in it, and it was very, very green everywhere that I worked on it. So this is doing really well. This is the Anna apple branches, and look at the flowers up here. Flowers mean apples, but there's way too many in that little group for this small tree. So once they set, I'll let the best ones stay, and I'll pick off the other ones so that there's enough energy to at least get a couple of good apples out of this tiny tree. And little tricks that you have to learn along the way. So yeah, I have my seeds out here. The other one I'm going to get going is I've got to set up a couple of those 6-tray units right there. I'll probably do 6 of them, and I'll get maybe I'll do 8. There's 3. I got 6 of them there available. So I'll get those set up, and I'll get some sweet corn going. But there's no rush on that because it's way too early for corn. I'll get the seeds started indoors on the corn, and when they're about a foot tall, then I can bring them out here and transfer them and plant them out here. And I just haven't figured out where I'm going to plant those yet. So I've got to wait till my next paycheck to afford the wood that I need, the OSB and some more 2x4s and that stuff that I need for here, plus the wire netting. So what I want to do is I might have to get my cinder block first and set up at least one grow area. And what I decided to do over here is I'm going to do a little probably 18 to 24 inch wide trough unit close to the greenhouse. And what I'm going to plant in there is my my citrus trees that are inside of there right now. So when the winter comes, I'll have this set up with a framework around it where I can cover it with visqueen, the clear visqueen. I'll probably use something really thick like 6 mil or heavier, maybe even 3 mil. And I'll have that as an outdoor greenhouse so that my citrus trees can make it through the winter. And then that'll free up my greenhouse for other things, right? Yeah, right. All right, so the apple trees, I think those will be able to, once they get a little older and stronger, those will be able to stay out for the winter. But if not, I'll set up part of the grow box, one of these grow boxes, to house them, where I can cover them over, same as the citrus trees. They like a lot of sunlight, so I can't put them against this wall because this wall is going to be pretty much blocked with water tanks and that stuff. So late afternoon there won't be enough sun here, although I'm going to have to time the sunlight that I'll have in here during the day after I get this thing up. I'll see when the sun goes down, and I may have enough hours of sun to put my apple trees along this edge. And that's the way I've been looking at it. All right, so I'm getting a little long here. I just want cover one more thing. Thanks to Pierre at Heat Seeker Bus, I'm talking about I had to lower this sectional wall here down 2 inches, and he was talking about using an air compressor with an air hose to blow the dirt out from underneath. So what I did is I used my homemade, where is it? Oh, there it is. I used my homemade miner's pick right here, and as you can see, I added a support underneath the point and then sharpened it down so it's stronger, because that was bending too easy even though I tempered it. But anyway, I used this first with the scoop, and I just scratched along both sides. Don't look at the sun. I scratched along both sides, and then I used the point to take as much of that soil out from underneath from both sides as I could get. All right. So then I came up with the idea to get the rest of it out. See the blue rope here? Well, I tied it off to that post, and then I took this end over there where it was off the ground, and I threw it underneath there. And then I pulled on it and came around the corner, and I pulled up to this point, and I left a little bit to show you what I was doing. But you see the dirt coming out? So as I did that, it just dropped down into place as it needed to be. I did have to do it a second time, but it did get all of the dirt I needed out by taking out a 3/8 inch cut at least on the second run. The first time, I think it took probably a 3/4 or 1 inch cut. Just pulled that dirt right out of there as I pulled it along. Pretty cool. Just an idea I came up with, and I tried it and it worked. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you go now. Remind you, thumbs ups and subscriptions. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. Get reminded when I post a new video. And to all those newcomers that popped in the last couple of days, welcome aboard, everybody. This is G Bear signing off.